My name is Matthew MacArthur. I'm the Executive Director of the Record Company, or TRC for short. TRC is a nonprofit recording studio and after-school program here in Boston. Our mission is to provide affordable professional studio time for independent artists and after-school programs and experiences for teenagers. We believe that if there is a professional venue for artist development and recording in Boston, and if teenagers are educated about realistic careers in audio, that Boston can grow to rival music industry cities. There's a lot of talent here, and so we established this organization to support it. In 2009, as I was graduating from Berklee College of Music, I founded the organization with a former professor of mine. She had a pretty illustrious career as a record producer and engineer, and her experience combined with my knowledge about my generation of record makers made it possible for us to build a unique sort of hybrid business. So we have two studios here in our 5,000 square foot facility. Both are open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We also have a classroom and a computer lab that we use for our educational programs, and a lot of the youth work that we do happens off-site as well at other youth-serving facilities. One of the main reasons for founding the organization was identification of the need that young musical talent has in a drastically different music business compared to decades ago. Young artists need the opportunity to make records, but making records is not a particularly profitable endeavor. So despite the fact that they need to make them for the purpose of developing themselves as an artist, developing their own identity, starting their own small business, it's not really something they're going to make a lot of money off of directly, the sale of the recorded material. So that was sort of the impetus behind making an affordable venue. They need to spend less money making the records so that they have resources for the other parts of the process that are more profitable, let's say. So as the renovation project came together, there were a lot of elements that we managed to consider ahead of time, but as newbies in construction, there was a number of things that got left until later in the project than they should have. One of the initial concerns was electrical requirements, specific types of circuitry and amperage requirements for a recording studio. Obviously the power has to be very quiet. Also related to quiet is environmental noise, whether we're going to block up the windows or whether we're going to allow natural light into the studio. From a transmission perspective, far better to block the windows up, but it also really changes the vibe, not being able to see outside and what time it is. So we opted to leave the windows. As far as vibe is concerned, another huge component is the comfort of the spaces from a heating and cooling perspective. And so we had to examine what systems were already in the space and make decisions about how we were going to carry that forward. We had changed the configuration of a number of rooms, so there were new spaces that were not being serviced by the existing equipment that needed to be included. And on top of that, the existing equipment was horrendous. It was a large old air blower, lots of vibration, lots of noise, old metal ducts that not only were dirty, but were vibrating and making lots and lots of noise.